The Circus of Monsters RC Tour is back in Sherwood, Oregon for the first time this year, the hometown show for Pride Performance Motorsports, and they bring back favorite trucks such as Bobby Landsberg's Igniter. Michael Thomas is representing Buggin' Out this weekend, followed up by Zen Tilly driving the Outrage again, and then the debut of the new truck, driven by the new driver Andrew Murkowski. It is Criminal Mischief. Follow that by Aiden Dahlman driving a new truck for Attack Motorsports. It is the all-new Checkmate. And last but not least, there is the all-new truck by the defending title champion. It is Jack Mitchell, who has the points lead, representing the all-new Deafening Melody. This weekend there's 4 competitions, 6 drivers. Let's see who gets to win and who gets to go home. In Circus of Monsters RC this weekend, 4 competitions for the 6 drivers. We start things off with monster truck qualifying. Each driver gets 2 passes around this track to see who gets the fastest time. Once that time is counted for, we get to see who gets the fastest time to get that coveted buy run in racing in the first 5 points of the event. Then it's best trick competition. Each driver gets 2 hits to wow the judges out of 10, and the highest score is going to take the win as we move into monster truck racing, where we take those 6 drivers, put them in a bracket, see who's going to be the fastest, and then we move to monster truck freestyle, where they get 2 minutes to see who can be the highest scoring freestyle winner and tally the overall winner. All right, we start things off with monster truck qualifying. Zen Tilly driving Outrage. He gets 1 qualifying pass as he DNF'd his first one, so this is his first complete pass this weekend. Here we go. A new form of racing, a new form of dirt. The trucks start on the outside. Zen setting the example, going big 1 lap on the outside, and then they turn in to hit the big ramps and to see who can get some big air. It's a little bit messy out there, but Zen finishes strong, and we get a time of 16.5. To see if he can beat that, it's Bobby Landsberg bringing it back in Igniter, stepping it up every weekend, every time he's driving this truck to see if he can get better and better. And here we go. We get to see his first qualifying pass on the north side of the track. Nice clean turn going on the outside. Oh, a little bit of a tumble there, but he saves it and he keeps it going like nothing happened. Gets his first lap complete there, clearing around the turn cone, and then he gets to get his first hit, and then he's going to do the second lap to round out his second lap. And we get a time of 22.84. One more shot for Bobby. Try it again to see if he can go even faster. Now starting it off on the south lane. Here we go. Bobby's lined up. We give him the green light.
The time for the first qualifying pass for Bobby Landsberg. And here we go for pass number 2 in 3, 2, 1, go.
And off he goes. He gets to take off in racing to see if he can beat his qualifying time. A little bit of a messy start, and it goes upside down. And Bobby Landsberg DNFs his second run, so his fastest time will be 22.84, and the time to beat is still that 16.5 set by Zen Tilly in Outrage. And the next driver up, it is Jack Mitchell in Deafening Melody in the independent class. He is the only 4-wheel drive, so he's got a little bit of an advantage here. So let's see what he can do. He's starting on the south side of the track in his brand new truck. This is the debut of this chassis for him. Let's see what he can do. He takes it off, a little bit of a wheelie off the start. Nice clean corner, clean pass down the straightaway. Coming around on the inside. Nice clean pass on the south side. First big jump, nice landing. And he comes around again to do it again. And some big air, a little bit crooked. But there we go, 16.2. That does give him the current lead for the fastest time. Let's see if he can go even faster with the north pass. He's lined up, he's ready to go. And we're going to see if Jack can go even faster. He takes off, that 4-wheel drive giving him that nice bite. Nice fast lap around the outside, and Jack is going to come around to do his first big jump. Nice big air, a little bit of a wheelie. Here we go. Going around to do the second jump. Oh, and a little bit of a tumble, but he lands it. And the time for Deafening Melody was a 15.81, the new fastest. And let's see who can beat that. All right, Michael Thomas, Black Fox Racing and Buggin' Out. This was the points leader for last event coming out of Albany, Oregon. So let's see if Buggin' Out can retain that points lead title for the truck name. Here he goes. Michael's going fast around the track. A little bit of a mix-up there, but it only slows him down. He's got to do the outside lap first, and then he can go big for the big air. Get some big air. A little bit tail happy, and then it comes back, and he does a bit of a tumble, but he saves it right across the finish line. The first time posted for bugging out is a 17.66. 17.66 is not quite fast enough. Let's see if you can do it again on the south side. Takes off, gets a little bit squirrely, a lot of power going to that rear axle. Michael's making the best of it, though. Here he comes around the corner. He's got to make the first jump. He makes it a little bit crazy on the inside jumps, and he goes big. The time for bugging out was a 17.41. Not quite the 15.81 we want to see. Coming up next, Andrew Murkowski, the all-new Criminal Mischief, the debut for this truck. We get to see what it's going to do. A Gorgon chassis, much like Igniter, but we're going to see what this truck can do. Here he goes, off to a good start, a little wide on the outside. Comes around the turn cone, and he smacks right into the backflip ramp, but he keeps it going like nothing happened. All right, he's done his first lap. He gets to come in on the inside now, and he gets to do his first jump and some big air into the other backflip ramp. A little bit messy, but he's keeping it on the ground, resetting a little bit, and it comes around the corner as he does his final jump and across the finish line at 28.40. He's going to do the north side run now. Let's see if Andrew Murkowski can beat that time and get close to Jack Mitchell's 15.81. He takes off a nice smooth start this time, a little bit slower, a little bit more in control, and he's going to keep it on the outside. He's done his first lap. We're going to see if he can get some big air. There he goes for the first jump, and he's coming around again to do the second jump, and there he goes. 18.90, a 10-second faster time, but not quite that 15.81. All right. Aiden Dahlman in checkmate, the new chassis for the series and the new identity for him. Let's see what Aiden can do. And he takes off a nice smooth start, using the understeer on the dirt, getting a little bit squirrely. This looks fast. Coming on the inside, hardly any braking, all speed. Here he goes, getting some air off those jumps. A 14.59 blows the qualifying time out of the park. And that is the fastest time of the day. Aiden with the last truck now gets that automatic buy run. Let's see what he can do. Can he go even faster? He's going around on the outside. A nice, clean pass. Here he goes. Oh, he missed. He missed the turn cone. Completely. Oh, he does hit the turn cone. Is going to take a penalty for that. And he ran out of power, just not enough to get over the jump, a DNF, but he did get the fastest qualifier in the first 5 points of the event with 14.59. We step it up to the best trick competition. Aiden with a fresh battery, he's coming back out to see if he can start clawing away more points from the current points standing leader, which is Jack Mitchell. So he rolls up to the first big jump to try and get a reverse popper out, and it just does not quite go the way he wanted it to go. We get the replay again, and he gets the front tires off the ground, but it doesn't quite get there. The score was 2.6 for checkmate. All right, Criminal Mischief, here we go. Andrew Murkowski, first time ever driving for this series, and he goes for big air and a tumble, and he saves it. A nice big save. This truck does not have the factory shocks. They actually come out of a Typhoon chassis. And he goes for big air again. The Typhoon chassis shocks really allowing that truck to bounce well. 5.3 is now the score set by Criminal Mischief. All right, coming up next is Jack Mitchell, Deafening Melody. Let's see what he can do. In the four-wheel drive chassis, he's got more opportunity, more advantage than the two-wheel drive trucks. Is he going to go for big air, or is he going to go for the trench box? It looks like he's going to go for that trench box back there. See if he's going to get a reverse backflip going. Jack line up, Jack staged. He's getting in position, see what's going to do. Oh, and it just doesn't stick the landing, but he does give it a shot. A score of 4.0 for Deafening Melody. All right, coming up next is Michael Thomas in Bugging Out. We're going to see what Bugging Out can do. The score to beat is a 5.3 for Bugging Out, or for Bugging Out to beat. And he's going to get a test of what the track can do. This is a new type of dirt for some of these drivers and a new type of dirt for some of these trucks. Let's see what this chassis's got. He's lining it up all the way up to the boundary, and he goes for big air to try and clear the two ramps. And he does land on the top side of that other ramp. Some big air for Bugging Out there. The score, a 7.5 for Bugging Out. All right, Bobby Landsberg coming back in the Igniter chassis. Bobby's always trying some new stuff every event. And let's see if he can get what he's been looking for this series. Last event, he went for big air off of the big jump. Well, this jump is even bigger, so there's more potential. Doing a lap of the track, trying to get a feel for the dirt. And he tries that little wheelie, and it's just not biting too little traction with those tires. Oh, he gets it, but it goes upside down. All right, a new move Bobby's been trying. The score of a 3.5 for the best trick competition. All right, here we go. Zen Tilly driving Outrage. This is the hometown track for Zen. All these trucks were built here. All these trucks were tested here. So we're going to see if Zen can get more air and go even bigger than Michael Thomas did in Bugging Out. Making a little bit of a landing ramp there, starting run, as he goes for big air, and it lands it. There we go. Big air for Zen. All right, as Zen lands his jump, he gets a score of 5.2, which means your winner with a score of 7.5 is going to be Michael Thomas in the Bugging Out. We move to racing and we get our bracket set. We have 6 trucks, which means we have 3 pairs of races in round 1. Checkmate versus Criminal Mischief, Deafening Melody versus Bugging Out, and Igniter versus Outrage. Some good racing, and then we'll have a fast loser advance into round number 2. Up first is Checkmate versus Criminal Mischief, the fastest qualifier versus the newest driver. Let's see who's going to do what.
Oh, nice turn, Aiden.
Criminal Mischief a little bit slower. Checkmate got the whole shot. Checkmate's in the lead. Criminal Mischief got stuck. Checkmate's ahead literally by a whole lap, and Checkmate gets the win. But Criminal Mischief does get a time for finishing across the track.
3, 2, 1,
Your first advancement, round 1, is Checkmate. Next up, Bugging Out versus Deafening Melody. The 4-wheel drive versus the 2-wheel drive. They take off. Bugging Out and Deafening Melody are in neck and neck. Bugging Out with a little bit crooked of a racing jump there.
Oh, and Jack wins
Going a
that
little
race.
bit crazy as Deafening Melody gets the win with a 14.73. All right, teammate versus teammate, Outrage versus Igniter, Zen Tilly versus Bobby Landsberg. Here we go, green versus red. Outrage gets the whole shot. Igniter staying smooth. These two were only 2 seconds apart in their times, but it is Outrage with the lead as it literally jumps over Igniter. Outrage is going to finish its racing pass. 2 double front flips. A 20-second pass, which will matter as Bobby Landsberg gets his pass in for the independent class. All right, fast loser was Bugging Out versus Checkmate, and then it's going to be Deafening Melody versus Outrage. Checkmate versus Bugging Out, fastest qualifier versus the wildest truck, the points leader truck. Here we go. All right, Bugging Out takes off with the whole shot. Gets around the corner a little bit faster than Checkmate. Checkmate gets a little bit squirrely. Bugging Out is in the lead, but they're neck and neck over the jumps. Let's see who can get to the win first. Oh, and because of the tumble, Bugging Out manages to take the win. Outrage versus Deafening Melody. Let's see, they get the whole shot even, but Zen goes off and gets stuck on the boundary. Zen, it was going to end up with a DNF, and Jack Mitchell is going to get the win there, as Zen was not able to get off of the ramp in time. As Zen completes his pass there as he finally made it off. There we go. The winning time, 15.65 for Jack Mitchell. The third and fourth place race, it is Outrage versus Checkmate. Here we go. Attack versus Pride. Let's see who's going to win. And they're off. And it's a clean pass. But Checkmate is going to get the win as Zen gets stuck on the boundary and cannot get his truck removed. And Zen will post a DNF, even though Checkmate gets a time penalty for smacking a turn cone. It still gets the win, and the third place goes to Checkmate. Fourth place goes to Outrage. Final race is going to be Bugging Out versus Deafening Melody. Here we go.
Here we go in 3, 2,
The points chase driver versus the points chase leading name. Here we go in the independent class final. They take off. It's Deafening Melody with the whole shot. Bugging Out's going a little crazy. Deafening Melody is in the lead as Jack makes it over the jump first. And it is Jack Mitchell with another tumble. Jack Mitchell is your winner in the racing for the Sherwood stop of the independent class. We move on to independent freestyle. They've got 2 minutes to wow the judges. They get 3 chances at rolling over. Bobby Landsberg getting us started to see if he can do 3 things off the bat. See if he can wow the judges, fill the clock, and hit all the obstacles. His time has started as he's trying to get turnaround on that ramp. And the traction is just not there, so he's going to try something else. The track got awfully muddy. It was awfully wet as he tries for a donut, but there's just a little too much traction, not enough power for Igniter. As it goes for the new obstacle, the boxes, he's lining up, trying to see if he can get some big air. A little bit slower momentum in this freestyle run, but let's see what Bobby can do. See what Igniter can get on this obstacle. Using a lot of time, and it goes upside down. The first rollover for Igniter as it picks back up and continues on in its freestyle run. And it goes a little bit over the boundary, a little bit out of bounds there. That's only going to hurt his time, going to hurt his opportunity to really wow the judges. He doesn't want to go for the cardboard boxes again. Avoiding that, but he goes for a slap wheelie as he looks like he's lining it up for the backflip, but he's going to try a different move. He is trying for a donut, and it goes straight into the backflip ramp, and that's rollover number 2. He is down to 1 more, and it's done as he goes for more air on those obstacles. He's still trying for that donut. It just is not biting the way he wants, and he is stuck on the wall, but he gets recovered. He didn't roll over, but he does get recovered as he's trying that wheelie again, and it just is not biting. There's just not enough there for Igniter. The score 25, your new freestyle leader for the independent suspension class. And there he goes. There's the donut he's been looking for, of course, after the freestyle run. All right, coming up next, it is Jack Mitchell, Deafening Melody. Here we go. Jack with some big air off the start, trying to keep that overall for the independent class going from last event to this one. Getting some consistent speed, some good momentum, using that front end to really bite. First one to go off of that big jump in freestyle. Taking advantage of the muddy conditions, letting that truck slide and fly. Oh, and he goes for a little bit of a front somersault. That will definitely impress the judges with the wow score. and the biggest air we've seen from Deafening Melody so far, trying to use that 2-minute clock as much as he can without going over. And let's see what it does. It backflips. He's got the traction. It lands it, and he keeps it going. As he goes over the boxes, this is where Bobby got stuck, but he got it in one. And he lines it up for the second backflip, and he gets it. He's got all the obstacles hit. He's got full points for obstacles. Now he's just got to fill the time. And he's filling the time by going a little bit crazier here in Deafening Melody. Really showing us his stuff with this truck. Little bit of a stoppy action there. Getting some smooth momentum as he tries to hook it for a donut. But it just does not bite the way he wanted. So he goes back to hitting more ramps. Using the time. Making sure the truck doesn't go upside down. And finishing off with some big air off of the big jump. Jack Mitchell really showing us that this truck is a strong contender. And he, as a driver, is a strong contender. Oh, he looks like he's lining up for that reverse backflip attempt. And it goes back on all four tires, but it doesn't hook the way he wanted it to. Definitely going for the wow momentum as the truck goes upside down. All right, the score is the highlight reel. Big air, 2 backflips, a front somersault. Tried to go for the reverse backflip on the trench box. Doesn't quite land it the way he wanted it to. But he gets the score. And here we go, 35 for Jack Mitchell, the new score to beat. Bugging out, Michael Thomas chasing that freestyle win, seeing if he can get it to be the same score as Deafening Melody. Trying to go for some big air off the bat. A chaotic, wet mess out there as the truck goes upside down on the cardboard. It is a tricky hit for some of these drivers. And he goes for the backflip, and it goes upside down again. So that's 2 flips. He's got 1 more to go if he wants that freestyle win against Jack Mitchell. The score to beat being a 35. Trying to use all the track. These wet conditions make it tricky for the two-wheel drive trucks. A nice combo right between the 2 jump pods as he's trying to clear both of them from one end to the other. Big air, huge speed from Bugging Out here. Really making the use of all the track as much as he can. Big air going towards the wall. Man, this truck is really sailing through the air. That little multicolor mohawk really flying around in there as he goes for a bicycle attempt. And that's going to call it for Bugging Out. Not quite enough time filled. Not all the obstacles hit, but the momentum was there for Bugging Out. And Michael Thomas, those combo moves really hitting it up in a 26, which currently puts him in 2nd place for the freestyle competition. All right, coming up next, Zentillion Outrage, the hometown truck, the hometown show. This truck is a bit of a wild card. It can be big. It can be disappointing sometimes. So let's see what Zen can do in the hometown as it goes upside down, near vertical on the roof. All right, he's got his 1 hit. 1 rollover in the first 90 seconds. If it goes upside down again and he can't save it, then that's going to be 2 as he goes for the boxes and it lands it. And he goes for the backflip, but it just does not have the momentum, the rotation. That's 2 flips. He's only got 1 more. If he can't save it, then the run is done. Trying to use as much of the track as possible, trying to keep up the momentum. It's doing pretty good, and the truck goes upside down, but he saves it, and he keeps it going on the track, trying to use as much of the track as possible, being conservative about some of these hits as the truck's bouncing all over the place. He's getting the big air, getting the speed, picking up a little bit as he tries to hit all the obstacles he can. He's done everything but hit one of the backflips. And he's being conservative, saving the best for last. Oh, and the truck just goes upside down in a way he can't save it. The score's coming in right now for Ignite, or for the Outrage Monster Truck. A nice few pair of saves, a couple of backflips attempts, some big air, some good momentum. A decent score of 26, which means he's tied with Bugging Out for 2nd place. And that means Jack Mitchell and Deafening Melody is still your leader. All right, the new truck, Colonel Mischief, driven by the new driver, Andrew Murkowski. This truck kind of rides like a clodbuster, but it is surprisingly quick. Some good action off the bat. A rollover right out of the gate. Andrew's got one rollover down and a nice barrel roll save. That is something new that we don't really see from these trucks all that often. Andrew, new driver, this new track, unfamiliar to him, but he's making the most of it, doing a good job in Criminal Mischief, really using as much of the track as he can, learning what he learned from racing and qualifying. As it goes upside down one more time, the next one is his one and done. And a nice slap wheelie into a save over the pod. That truck really is bouncing around the track. Andrew having a good time out there in the mud, being pretty conservative about where he lands, trying to fill the time. He hasn't hit all the obstacles yet as he tries for a donut. That's impressive that he's trying to get some traction there. Get some big air, and it saves it again. A good save from Criminal Mischief. Let's see what else he's got. Some wheelies over the dirt as he goes for the cars, and the cars bite again. Another one bites the dust. Cars bite again, but he got some good saves and some good action. A score of 24 for Criminal Mischief, which means your leader is still Jack Mitchell in Deafening Melody. As we go to the last truck, which is Aiden Dahlman in Checkmate. Here we go. Going off for some big air, your fastest qualifier, using as much speed as he can around the track. The most he can use on the track. Some big floor for this little truck as he goes for big air. Trying to fill the clock, trying to hit all the obstacles as much as he can, trying to get some good saves, some good combo moves. A nice wheelie ride right over the top of the pods. This truck is getting some good momentum, really taking advantage of the big floor, and he smacks right into the cardboard boxes, but he still stays on its tires as he goes for the backflip, and it just lands it so perfectly. Aiden really knowing how to drive this truck, but it goes upside down. He's got one hit out of the way. He's only got two more rollovers in the bank, but he's going for the cardboard. Oh, and it gets stuck on the cardboard. The cardboard bites, another truck bites the dust on the cardboard there. Man, that is a tricky obstacle we set up for the freestyle action. Aiden Dahlman in Checkmate really making up for that lost time, just riding the front tires, letting them understeer around the track, and he's just stepping this truck up. The momentum, the speed, it's just flying around the track. We're barely keeping up on camera as he's just flinging it into the wall. He goes a little bit of hurt of a momentum, but he does a little bit of a reverse move. And he goes for another backflip, and it just doesn't stick the landing. Big air, big momentum, big speed from Aiden there. A couple of really cool hits and saves. That beautiful backflip again. And the score's a 33, which means your freestyle winner with a 35 is Jack Mitchell in Deafening Melody.